It is a gorgeous night in Las Vegas, and we're inside the beautiful, almost brand new T-Mobile Arena. You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. This is the MGM Resort's main event. Alongside former Maryland Terrapin Adrian Branch, I'm Sam Farber. It's a pleasure and a privilege to have you along for this third place game featuring SEC squad Ole Miss. They're 3-1. They'll take on the 1-3 Owls of Rice. How did we get here? A couple nights ago, we had our semifinal matchups. The Utah Utes pulling away late for the victory over Ole Miss, 83-74. Rice, meanwhile, they went up against a very motivated UNLV team we'll see later on tonight on ESPN2. Take a look at the starting lineups for this one. Ole Miss shuffling things around just a little bit, bringing DeAndre, Burnett, the preseason first-team All-SEC selection, into the starting five.
Well, the difference this year, Sam, is he's more efficient from the field. He's gotten off to a fast start, shooting 50% from the field and an impressive 80% from the free throw line.
Rice has seen a lot of changes in the last 6 months. One consistent player, Connor Cascia. He's averaging 16 points per game for the Owls.
Connor, tag your it. It's an opportunity for him. The coaching staff says it's an open door. He didn't have it last year, but he's been running with it with an impressive 16 points a game.
We're ready to tip things off. Malik Osborne in the middle for the Owls, and it's Marcanvis Hyman taking the tip for Ole Miss, and the Rebels win it. They're in red tonight. Ole Miss 3-1, taking their first loss against Utah a couple nights ago.
Both teams are looking for a bounce-back game after tough losses with Ole Miss. We're expecting to beat the Utah game, but that's a good start, getting points in the paint.
Hyman with the finish. Senior from Memphis, Tennessee. It's a very guard-dominant Ole Miss squad. Missed on the shot there from Rice. That was Ako Adams. 3 ball from the corner on the way. A little too strong. Rebound to Rice. And then the steal underneath. Saving it is Schuler. He'll set up Burnett. Passes the 3. Into the corner. Schuler dialing it up from distance and too strong.
Both teams want to push the tempo. You look at what Rice wants to do. They want to play fast, but they have to rebound and box out, pay attention to detail because they don't have a lot of size in the front line.
3 from the wing is good. That's Connor Cascia, shooting just 30% from distance on the season, but he is really the lone experienced guy back for the Owls.
We just talked about him in the open and said he has an open opportunity, and he should be fishing, as we mentioned, 80% from the free throw line.
Here's an answer from Ole Miss. Markel Crawford, the transfer from Memphis. Ole Miss goes back on top 4-3.
Both teams will have to help and react. Rice does not have a shot blocking presence at the rim, and Ole Miss is guard dominant as well.
Osborne, the 3 from the 6'8" forward. Left wanting, less than 2 minutes in. It's a 1-point game. Ole Miss on top.
Good ball movement.
3 from Davis, knocks it down.
You can see a good possession before it happens. The spreading, the ball movement, shooters having their feet set. If they can knock down the shot from the outside against that zone, that'll be a challenge for Rice.
Davis, the leading scorer for the Rebels this year at over 17 points per game. Nice backdoor cut. Martin, the easy lay-in off the nifty pass from Malik Osborne.
Coaching. We hadn't even mentioned the coaches yet, but Scott Parra, when you're seeing that extra pass, playing unselfish, looking for one another.
There's a 3-ball answer from Ole Miss. Make it 10-5. Cascia the drive.
Nice pass.
Leaves it underneath, and Osborne can't finish, but he'll head to the line to shoot 2. Early hot shooting from Terrence Davis, and another All-SEC selection.
Didn't have his best game against Utah, and Coach Kennedy said, we need you to be a star. He's answered the bell, shooting it with confidence in this bounce-back game.
Ole Miss, hot start to the night here in Las Vegas. You see Coach Andy Kennedy, his 12th season in charge of Ole Miss basketball. 2-time SEC Coach of the Year.
Honest, plain spoken. He's already looking like it's in the middle of the second half. He said this has to be mental for us. We have to pay attention to detail. We have to execute.
Malik Osborne knocks them both down. Back to a 1-possession game. 10-7, Ole Miss on top. Harrison up the three. Ole Miss swinging around. It's the freshman Schuler who hits from distance.
When you're playing against a zone, pass beats the dribble. When you're able to move the ball quickly, defenses are always at their best when they don't have to move.
Lead is 6 for Ole Miss. 3 to answer from Rice. Off the mark from Cashaw. Rebound goes to Burnett. Very guard-dominant Ole Miss squad. But they've got some of the best experienced guards in the entire SEC. This 3 over the back is going to be called here on Hyman. That's his first, team second.
When you look at an Ole Miss, you never have to take a bad shot because Burnett can create his offense and get a pass up a good shot for a great shot. Crawford as well. So when you're playing with a guard-dominant team, you never have to take a bad shot.
3.5 minutes in, 13-7. Ole Miss's offense working fine so far.
Good ball movement as well for the Owls. Young team learning, one of the youngest teams in college.
Osborne kicks it out. Adams 4-3, that's deflected. Osborne saves it to a wide open Cashaw who hits for 6.
I like what I see with the Owls. They're doing the same thing that Ole Miss. They're spreading the floor. They're moving it. Everyone is touching the basket. Good ball movement. Good spacing.
Live from the perimeter. Davis all the way in. Fumbled the pass to Crawford, but it still found its way. Now Burnett whistled for traveling. We've reached our first timeout on the floor. Ole Miss with a 4-point lead. Devontae Schuler hitting from distance. And then open underneath, Connor Cashaw making it a 4-point game early. And Aleve Direct Therapy. Get drug-free, deep penetrating lower back pain relief. 4-point ball game early on here in Las Vegas. Ole Miss, the 13-9 lead on Rice. Alongside Adrian Branch, I'm Sam Farber. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And for both these teams, Adrian, the coaches said it's not going to be that happy at Thanksgiving if they leave Las Vegas 0-2. Lots of motivation for these teams.
Well, I'm liking what I'm seeing from both teams right now. When you're seeing the floor spread, you're seeing them pass the ball around, 5 guys touching it and getting their offense going. So both teams are getting what they want, and the star players are knocking down shots in Cashaw and Davis.
See Scott Parra there, the head coach for the Rice Owls. First season as a head coach at the Division I level. Very experienced head coach, though. He was the head coach of James Harden in high school, going way back when, and spent the last 3 years on this Rice squad.
Keep an eye on Scott Parra. He's got the it factor, a natural leader. He's honest. He lets you know where he stands, and it's a work in progress right now with Rice.
Rice has made some subs. LePray and Harrison have checked into the game. LePray has it now. Shot from the corner. Off the mark, and the rebound to Ole Miss, who's also made a sub, bringing in Bruce Stevens. Stevens gets it down low, backing his way in, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2. Stevens, the JUCO transfer, someone the coaching staff likes a lot.
Yeah, he was top 6 rated All-American coming out, and you can see it, 6'8", 250 pounds. He has a good feel. Right now, the coaching staff said the game's been too fast for him. He's making adjustments. He's their true inside presence.
This is the first free throw. He's a guy who's hit about 2 out of every 3 through the first 4 games of the season.
Coach Kennedy was saying this was his first big stage with the bright lights and the big atmosphere, and he wants to see how his team responds, especially with Bruce Stevens.
Ole Miss goes into full court pressure with a 5-point lead. And he gets ahead to Adams, who'll cross the timeline.
Because Ole Miss is a small team, that 1-3-1, you've got quickness at almost every possession. They work well off of that 1-3-1.
Adams threads the needle somehow to Harrison, and he's fouled. He put it right between 2 Ole Miss defenders. I'm not sure how he found his way to Harrison.
That was a thread the needle anticipation pass right here. And I'm going to give him some love because he's from the DMV. He's from the Washington, D.C. area. Nice job, Joey Wooten. My high school coach, Morgan Wooten's son, will be proud on that one.
Harrison, let's see if we can do the reverse broadcaster's jinx. He's now 0 for 3 on the year from the free throw line.
You're going to reverse. What are you saying?
Okay.
He never makes it. So
That's
now we're
right.
looking for
So
him
now
to make it.
he's
You got to
gotta
make it. There you go. Nice form, though. Good follow through.
Remains a 5-point game. Ole Miss on top. Tyree into the contest. Brian Tyree. Crawford missed the shot. Rebound to Rice.
Coaching staff wants Crawford to be a slasher. He won't make his living off of shooting jumpers right now, but getting to the basket as a fifth-year senior.
Ole Miss shooting better than 50% from the field early on. Rice has done a better job of getting to the line, though. 10 on the shot clock. Harrison in the post. Nice backdoor pass and another foul. This one on Crawford will send the Owls to the charity stripe.
What I'm looking for in this game, are you playing for one another? The spacing. This is still early in the season, what, 4th or 5th game for both teams, and how are they developing? Are you getting chemistry? I like what I'm seeing with the back door, the give and goes under pressure that Ole Miss is putting on.
Osborne hits the first. Rice picked 13th out of the 14-team Conference USA preseason poll. Not a huge surprise. Scott Parrott taking over. It's his first season. And with the coaching change, saw a lot of the veteran players from last year's squad move on to other programs.
Give him time. I'm telling you, that's going to be a name that you're really going to remember, because there's a saying, people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care, and he has that with his athletes.
Davis misses the three, but the long rebound tracked down.
Got to go. That's a scoring. That's a red zone. That's a hot zone. You can turn around and shoot that.
Somehow makes the pass, and it's rejected by Harrison. Rice comes away with the ball.
Stevens passed up a shot down in the deep post. Got to look for your offense when you're that close to the basket.
Harrison backs his way down. Turnaround jumper. Banks it home.
Impressed with this young man. Made some nice assists. Good shot off the glass. A little Tim Duncan-ish on that.
Sophomore from San Diego, California. It's a 1-point game, 14-13, Ole Miss on top. Corner three, yes.
Now the Rebels are knocking down that shot. Ole Miss is knocking down that shot, but Rice is packing it in, because if you have to give up something, they don't want to give up points in the paint.
Traveling called on the Owls. Last three goes for Terrence Davis. Ole Miss takes the 4-point lead. Here's a look at the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis bracket. Big surprise on the bottom half. Arizona goes down to an ACC school.
Yeah, they did that. I didn't see that one coming with NC State, but I'm impressed how you said the Bad Boy Mowers. Say that 3 times. That's pretty good.
Lots of practice. Now I got a foul underneath this one on Ole Miss. That's Olenichik, another name we've been practicing.
We've been practicing on those names. We've been practicing on those names.
Dominic is from Poland.
You look at today's athletes. I played 30 years ago. Look at these guys aerobically. They are so in shape. I mean, they just run and in shape. And we didn't have the off-season conditioning that you had. It was optional. I played in the Urban Coalition in the Summer League. It was optional if you felt like it. But you look at these college bodies. All of these young guys are in shape.
Hunter just checked into the game. He's holding the rock right now. Swing it around to LePray. Sharpshooter, hits from distance. A.J. LePray. This is a young man. He's not so young anymore. He's a senior here with Rice. He has never been healthy. It's his 3rd program. He's a big recruit to Oregon. Hurt his hip, never really played. Transferred to Pepperdine, always injured. Now at Rice, he's getting an opportunity.
How refreshing is that? Everything you just said, Sam, where he gets this opportunity now, upperclassmen, and for him to just be out there playing. They were saying with his injury, it was possible that he'd never play again. So it's just refreshing to see him out here.
Great inbounds play for Ole Miss. Davis cutting to the rim and spreads that lead back to 3. Ball goes over the baseline, and it's going to stay with Rice.
If I'm Coach Parra, I'm happy. I like what I see. They're moving the basketball. Ole Miss is not giving them anything, but they're taking advantage of the pressure through back doors, through coming off with crisp passes.
Osborne back into the game, replacing Harrison. Ole Miss on top by 3. Deep 2 from Kashaw, friendly roll.
Looking at Rice, we're looking at Rice. Discipline, focus, determined. This is just a groundswell of what they want to build in this program.
Rice's leading scorer has 7, and it's a 1-point contest. Burnett.
See if Burnett can get a shot at the 3-point line. He steps in, he shoots a good 3-point shot.
Olenichik with the hook. He said Tim Duncan, right?
That's for Harrison. Olejniczak, nice touch inside.
Cashaw fouled on the three-point attempt, and he'll be at the line with an opportunity to tie things up. Let's take a look at the young man from Poland, Dominik Olejniczak.
Soft touch. You take it every time. Points in the paint.
What a birthday present for Mr. Knight. Some of the best basketball in the country. You got #1 Duke up top, Gonzaga. Number 17, that could be a potential Final Four game one day.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. Also, the Butler, Texas thing. Can Shaka Smart recover and have that havoc that he wants to bring down to Texas?
So that's the motion bracket. Here's the victory bracket featuring North Carolina and Michigan State. These games all kick off on Thursday on the ESPN family of networks.
Well, I got Michigan State in the Final Four, so whatever they're doing, I got Michigan State. One of possibly 2 matchups that they had with Duke. I got to give my Terps some love, too. I think we can be Sweet 16.
That's a Big Ten team now, though.
Oh, way to punch me in the gut. Way to punch me in the gut. Wow.
Here tonight, we've got SEC versus Conference USA at the line with the opportunity to tie things up was Cashaw, but he misses the first of 3 free throws.
Got to put some arc on that one. That shot was too flat. Let's see if he bends it a little bit. A little more arc. There you go.
He is an 80% free throw shooter on this very young season. Junior from Lincolnshire, Illinois.
The pressure from Ole Miss has not bothered the Owls. They've been able to get to the free throw line. You look at the shot chart, they're making 15-footers. They've had some layups and now to the free throw line. So offensively, they've been getting what they want.
Cashaw goes 2 for 3. It's a 1-point game, but big player out now for Ole Miss in Davis. He's the leading scorer with 11. He picked up his second foul that sent Cashaw to the line before. Chance for Rice to take their first lead of the day. 3, way off the mark for Mency. Back to Ole Miss.
I hope he's not into peer pressure because, wow, that was ugly. That didn't work. Now, just mentioning shooting, though, there's some soft rims. So watch when the ball bounces around, the rim gives. That's what you want as a shooter. You want soft rims.
Burnett misses the corner 3. Rebound LePray, and Rice another opportunity to move in front. Cashaw from distance.
I like what I see. I'm going to take you way back. A guy named Bryant Stiff. He was one of a first-round draft pick out of UVA. Had the same kind of build as Cashaw. Really efficient.
Cashaw, new leading scorer in the contest. He has a dozen, and Rice has a 2-point lead. And they got the ball back. Traveling violation on Breein Tyree.
Cashaw, a star is born. He was in our open. He's the man now. Returning leading scorer. Knocking down a shot. Efficient. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists a game. He's only a 30% three-point shooter, so that helps his confidence.
Ole Miss in some pressure defense, the 1-3-1.
Got to be quick. The Owls are moving the basketball side to side. That's a good thing.
Martin cuts in and he walks.
Not a lot of turnovers with the pressure. Right now, still early. So coming down to the middle of the first half, Rice with a 2-point lead is showing themselves very well.
Ole Miss, on the other hand, trailing by 2. Their head coach, Andy Kennedy, told us pregame he wanted to see how his team responded from a loss.
Yeah, he said, you know what, we have to dominate the glass and we have to play at an SEC pace with SEC players so we can look like an SEC team. So they want to play fast but under control.
That SEC banner's not just for football. They play a specific brand of basketball as well. Burnett, 4-3. Off the mark again. Rough shooting start for him. Rice off and running. Adams, he walks.
You look at it as a coaching staff as well and say, okay, we're missing shots, but are we getting good shots? And so far for Andy Kennedy and his team, they're getting good shots. Rice has responded very well. They're playing with good intensity. They know they're going against a team on paper that has more manpower, especially than the post.
Midway mark of the first half, 23-21 in favor of Rice. MGM Resort's main event. Olejniczak missed the hook.
Not a lot of second chance points right now. In fact, for Ole Miss, they don't have a second chance opportunity so far.
NC couldn't take advantage of the soft rim. Another rebound to the Rebels. Crawford, a Memphis transfer, in and out. Rebound loose on the baseline. Last touch by Ole Miss.
Look, Coach Perry on the bench. If we get a shot at Coach Perry, he's fired up. He's playing every possession. But good job by Rice packing it in. You don't have any defenders that's standing on the three-point line. So they're saying, Ole Miss, you're going to have to beat us from the outside. And when you miss a shot, we're going to hold you to one and done.
Schuler, Hyman, and Davis all checking in for Ole Miss. Terrence Davis, their leading scorer tonight with 11 points, but he also has 2 fouls, so he'll have to be careful.
Yeah, he has to be efficient, has to play a smart floor game. That's what Coach Kennedy was saying.
Bray has it poked away. Diving for the boards, Crawford. Busted out of bounds, but great hustle there from the Memphis transfer.
You watch, they're talking about time on the shot clock, so you still have plenty of time. Cashaw's back in the game. You got to keep an eye on where the shooters are.
Bray and Osborne checking out.
Watch a high screen and roll. Try to get inside points in the paint.
Adams, contested 3. Hard off the glass. Long rebound, tracked down by Schuler. Freshman into the front court. And his pass taken away by Cashaw. Connor Cashaw averaging 16 points, 7 rebounds per game for Rice.
Good patience by Cashaw.
Kicks it out, Martin for 3. A rebound by Hyman, and he's hit on the arms. Foul will go on Tim Harrison. Second team foul against Rice.
That was an excellent possession where you have Cashaw. You want to put the ball in your best player's hand. He's probing the defense, probing it on the side, comes back out, sets it up, and then has a nice driving kick for an open three-point shooter. Excellent job, just didn't make the basket.
Harrison heads to the bench with his second foul. Austin Meyer takes his place. With 20 left here in the first half.
I'm sorry, Sam. Look where the white jerseys are. They're inside the three-point line. So they're saying we're going to concede right now that open shot. If you can knock that down consistently, we'll give that to you.
Adams in transition, stripped on his way to the rim. Great defense there by Markel Crawford. He was the one defender against 2 oncoming Rice Owls and managed to get the stop.
Well, it starts on the defensive end, and then to drive right now inside. Good quick hands.
8 minutes left here in the first half. Rice holding a 2-point lead. Scoring has stalled for both teams. We've had 0 points in the last 3 minutes.
Rice has not had live ball turnovers for runouts for Ole Miss. Look at that ball movement, that snap.
Cashaw with 4 on the shot clock. Pull up just inside the free throw line is good.
Now, if you're over 40, I'm going to say that name again. They'll remember Brian Stiff. He was a first-round draft pick from Denver. I'm telling you, 6'4", 6'5". He's in that league with Old Dominion now as assistant coach. But he was so efficient, and that's what Cashaw is reminding me of.
Cashaw has 14. It's 25-21 Rice. Schuler bangs against the defender. Ball came loose, and Ole Miss comes away with it.
The challenge for Ole Miss is they don't have a developed points in the paint score right there, so you got to get it off of drives if you can.
Wave the bucket off. Terrence Davis hit with an offensive foul, and that's his 3rd. Ole Miss's leading scorer loses 2 points and might lose the rest of the half.
Good call. Got to kiss it off the glass. Coach Kennedy knows his players. Got to have that feel.
Rice holding a 4-point lead. Connor Cashaw, 14 points. He only had 13 in their previous loss against UNLV.
And you look at his shot selection, they're on balance. He's catching it, posing for a picture. That's a thing of beauty. In 11 minutes, 14 points, and very efficient, 5 for 6 from the field.
He had only shot 30% from 3, 38% from the field overall in his first 4 games of the season. Obviously, the numbers well above that early here. Coming up on 7 minutes left in the opening half, it's 25-21 Rice. And a tie up on the rebound. Burnett tangled with Bishop Mency. Arrow favors Rice, so they'll keep it.
One thing that's helped Rice is they're shooting almost 50% from the field, and they don't have a lot of turnovers, only 2 turnovers. Ole Miss is a team that wants to pressure you and force the tempo. And then offensively, they don't have any second chance points or points in the paint. Nothing inside yet.
Ole Miss going zone.
With patience, probing the defense, trying to see if Ole Miss will make a mistake where they can get a driving lane or an open shooter.
Cash up with the drive, jump stop, puts it up, too strong, rebound Martin, and a third opportunity on this possession for Rice.
Ole Miss has to raise their intensity because right now they're giving up offensive putbacks and easy shot opportunities inside the paint. Good ball movement again. Watch that ball movement.
Cashaw gets a screen, 10 on the shot clock. Underneath, Meyer, turnaround, yes.
Second chance opportunities kill a defense. Now you're talking about a Rice team that's on a 9-0 run. It starts with the defense. They building it in, packing it in. Look at those white jerseys again. Not outside the three-point line. Everything's inside.
Hyman goes up and he's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2. Ole Miss has been held scoreless for 6 minutes. Meanwhile, Austin Meyer continues Rice's run.
Right there, your defense is already beat. You've got 2 feet inside the paint, so you catch it, make a nice, easy turnaround. And you know another thing, what happens, Sam, when you're making baskets, you have an opportunity to get your defense set. So you don't see a lot of runouts right now for Ole Miss.
Mark Canvas Hyman, excellent athlete. Off on his first free throw. He led the team last year with 40 blocked shots. Prey checking back in. Hyman goes 1 for 2. 1 point in the last 6 minutes, 15 seconds for Ole Miss.
They've got to dig themselves out of a hole because right now Rice is taking advantage of the opportunities, not taking bad shots, getting the ball right there. You can get a good high percentage shot.
Cashaw leading scorer with 14. Into the corner, LaPrey for 3. Strong. Cashaw tried to steal the rebound and he's hit with the foul. Rice with a 27-22 lead. Al's just 1-3 on the season. It's definitely a transition period for Coach Scott Pera, but you know what? These kids love playing for this guy. They want to win badly for him.
Oh, absolutely. He's got a motto. You must be comfortable when it's uncomfortable. So when you're going against adverse situations, right now they're winning. They're feeling good.
Burnett held off the scoreboard so far. Tries the runner and the awkward angle goes. In transition, LaPrey for 3. Rattles out. And the rebound out of bounds. It'll go to Ole Miss. 27-24 the score. Burnett finally gets on the scoreboard.
First team all conference in the preseason with his ability to score. Now he's starting. He was coming off the bench. He had a willing attitude to come off the bench. But Coach Kennedy needs him to do that right there.
Lay-in gets his three-point game going, and Ole Miss right back in and tying it up at 27. Missed by Meyer, and here come the Rebels. Burnett into the lane, and he is fouled.
Pat Riley, when I played with him with the Lakers, would always say, win the battle of the runs. In a game, there's going to be 7 to 8 runs where a team might go 9-0, 10-2. Right now, Ole Miss is starting to make a run. They tied it up, and Burnett is starting to get comfortable in the offense.
Ole Miss subs in Justis Furmanovicius, Lithuanian. We've been practicing. Furmanovicius.
When all else breaks, I've got this in my clip pocket. I'm going to say Eustace. Like Giannis. So.
Ole Miss to inbound from the baseline. Smart play there by the freshman. Schuler just back up and take it in the backcourt.
Coach Kennedy thinks he has an all-conference potential. He thinks he has an opportunity to be special in his program.
Up in the lane, Hyman gets a friendly roll. We're talking about those soft rims.
Oh, I love it. That's a shooter's dream. You don't want a hard rim because there's no margin of error.
Stripped by Ole Miss. Vermanovicius with the jam.
This young man could be a long jump Olympian. He really gets off the floor. Very springy. We talked about in the first 10 minutes of the game, live ball turnovers. Well, this is one of the few, and Ole Miss gets off to an easy basket right there. You want to control the tempo of your Rice. Slow it down, slow it down.
Endured some hardships in the last few months, a coach leaving, Scott Parrott taking over, and every team wants to win. But these guys really want to win for this guy. Check this out. Their first victory of the year at Northwestern State. This is the locker room.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That never grows old. Look at the camaraderie, the respect they have for the coach. He's been in their program as well as an assistant coach for a couple years. So, well done, coach.
You often hear about coaches moving on, players transferring, and sometimes a program, you get the impression that there's kids left behind. Well, these kids don't feel left behind. They feel like they've got an opportunity.
Part of the family.
Opportunity underneath the score, and Osborne fumbled the basketball, tries to throw it outside, and Schuler takes it away. Freshman driving, kicks it outside, too late, offensive foul.
Good call. Good call. It's so interesting how coaches know their teams. And Coach Kennedy said this young man is going to be very good, but he's adjusting to the field. He had one dribble too deep inside, putting himself in a position to get that foul drawn on him.
Still a 10-0 run here for Ole Miss. They lead by 4, 3:40 left in the opening half.
Well, you're looking at the red jerseys now adjusting, being quick, playing the passing lanes, trying to deflect, and then running out.
Cashaw still the game's leading scorer with 14. Ole Miss in the 2-3 zone. Cashaw, 3 on the shot clock.
Tough
fade
shot.
away with a hand in his face. And an offensive board to Rice. Adams from deep. Yes.
Second chance opportunities break a defense down, breaks their back. And the best time to shoot a three-point shot is off an offensive rebound because the defense is collapsed. That was a textbook three-point shot.
Aiko Adams' first bucket of the night makes it a one-point game. Nice reverse lay-in from the freshman Schuler.
Coaching staff believes he's one of the best guards they've recruited in a long time. Silly foul.
Now up the court, Hayes Schuler, freshman from Irmo, South Carolina.
Talent makes room for you, and he's got some talent with his ability, and he's learning. Coach Kennedy said, you know what, this is our 5th game of the season. I want to see what we have, what kind of chemistry we have, how we're going to come out after a tough loss to Utah.
Averaging 10 points per game. Family's got a crowded Thanksgiving table. He's got 5 brothers, 2 sisters. Brothers' names are Dante, DJ, Dominic, Dontrell, and DeAndre. The sisters are Danella and Denisha.
Darn, that's a lot of D's. Dang, that's pretty cool.
Want to take a guess what Dad's name is?
David.
Donald.
I was going to say maybe Fred.
Mom is Linda, so she's one house.
Well, we got the A's too. I got my Kim, Kylie, Corey. We got the K's and the A's and the Adrian. So that's a lot of D's though.
33-30 the score. Ole Miss with the lead. And it'll be Rebel basketball on the baseline. Substitution into the game. Robert Martin checking back in, sophomore from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Ole Miss now has the lead. Can Rice make another run? They're attached to this game, but can you make another run and not be tired? So both teams, can you execute in this last 2 minutes?
Crawford, pull-up jumper. Yes.
Like that shot. Squared up, good shot. In scoring position, 13-footer.
Crawford has 4. Adams, corner 3 ball. Too strong. Rebound, Ole Miss. Burnett for 3. That one's short. Rebound to Rice. Back and forth we go. 2 minutes to play in the half. 5-point Rebel lead.
You said earlier that Rice wants to play with a quick tempo, but they have to be able to first secure the rebound. And for the most part of this game, they've been able to do that. Got to be in shape to play this game, but both teams want to play this pace.
Burnett splits the double team, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2. DeAndre Burnett, one of the older players in the college game. And you do put the foul on Rice. Going back to Burnett, I mean, you see all the one-and-dones. Part of the reason Burnett and Ole Miss are hoping for a very successful season. DeAndre is 23 years old. He's going to turn 24 during conference play action. Get some of these 18-year-olds from Kentucky. You think Burnett's looking forward to playing them? Hits the front end of the 1-and-1, makes it 36-30. Here's the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis bracket. Villanova and Tennessee will meet in the semifinals, and surprisingly, NC State is waiting on the winner's side of the bracket.
Coach Keating came in from UNCW. He's a disciple of Rick Pitino, wanted to play fast, so that was a huge win in his early career at NC State.
That hits them both. He's up to 6 points, and Ole Miss now on a 17-3 run.
Keep an eye on LaPrey. He's their most dangerous three-point shooter right there.
Tries to go down low, pass tipped and saved. Firmanovicius gets the loose ball from Hyman.
LaPrey did not give a good passing angle on that one. We got the deflection.
Burnett has it rattle home.
Coaching staff says that's their Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. He can get hot quickly.
40-30. Ole Miss run continues. DeAndre Burnett on the wing. Slow start, but he's heating up now. He's into double figures. DeAndre Burnett, the Miami Gardens, Florida native, has Ole Miss up by 10.
You know, he's letting the game come to him this year. The coaching staff was saying that he was taking a lot of shots. Oop, three, there at the needle. Oh, I'm claiming him again. DMV, where's that man from, Sam? Hit me one time. DMV, where's he from, Sam?
That's the DC metro area, right?
DC, baby.
Under a minute to play. Menzies' bucket breaks the drought for Rice. Still trailing by 8. Rice showing the 2-3 zone.
Good ball movement again. Good ball movement.
Tyree rejected by Osborne. Here come the Owls.
We're holding for the last shot. Got time. 7-second differential. Tyree had a tough shot right there. You want to get going and kiss it off the glass. You're already in scoring position.
Ole Miss playing the 2-3 zone now. Shaw, corner 3 ball. Yes, sir.
Defense fell asleep on the shooter. You always have to be aware of where the shooters are. Now you got to go quickly. 6 seconds left.
17 points in the first half for Cashaw. Kickoff, Crawford at the buzzer. And we have hit halftime. Both teams making their runs here. Ole Miss pushed their advantage to almost 10. Rice a quick spurt. Now it's a 5-point ball game.
Rice has responded to the turnover battle. They're doing an excellent job in the first 20 minutes of this game.
Much more to come here on ESPN Feast Week, brought to you by Lowe's, the MGM Resort's main event third place game at half. Welcome back to beautiful Las Vegas, the MGM Resort's main event third place game. Ole Miss with a 5-point lead over Rice, all part of ESPN Feast Week. Brought to you by Lowe's. Sam Farmer alongside Adrian Branch. Adrian, very entertaining first half. Rice very competitive in this one against an SEC squad whose athleticism eventually got them back on top.
Yeah, for the first 14 minutes of this game, it was a masterpiece. They were able to hold Ole Miss to a one and done, and then Connor Cashaw was able to deliver, hitting timely baskets. That's a beautiful three-point shot. Catch and shoot again, pose for a picture. The form is there, unselfishness. Look at that, 3 passes, knocking it down in the corner, but you can't keep the Rebels off guard off base because they continue to come at you. Look at this drive by the freshman Schuler. They think he's going to be a good one. Then the dunk.
Firmanovicius.
Say that
making me say it. Firmanovicius. And also DeAndre Burnett, the All-SEC selection. That shot really got him going. And overall, the athleticism, again, of Ole Miss, it's something that Coach Andy Kennedy said he wanted. He wanted to see SEC athletes out there playing that style of basketball, and at 48% shooting, they eventually got it going.
Well, you look at it right now, everything is almost even. The rebound battle is very close to turnover battle. And then with the free throw line, Rice in the first half has been able to get to the free throw line and also shot attempts. So let's keep an eye on who can establish tempo in the start of the second half.
5-point ball game. It's anyone's ball game here at T-Mobile Arena. Back with second half action as Feast Week continues. You're watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. This is the MGM Resorts main event, third place contest. Ole Miss at the SEC holding a 40-35 advantage on Rice. Sam Farber, Adrian Branch, glad to have you with us here. We are strip side here in Las Vegas at beautiful T-Mobile Arena. Leading scorers in the first half. Terrence Davis was the factor early for the Rebels, and then DeAndre Burnett came on late.
I like the shot chart where you look at it, everybody has 7 shots, 6 shots, 5 shots. So they're sharing the basketball, 10 assists. But again, in the second half, both teams who can get off and establish the tempo that they want to play at.
And Connor Cashaw was the beginning and the end for Rice. He had 17 points, surpassing the total he had in the loss just a couple nights ago against UNLV, only 13 in that one.
I thought the Owls ran out of gas a little bit right before the half. Ole Miss was putting pressure on them, so I want to see how fast they start. When you get tired, there's a little slippage. You're not as sharp as what they are. So let's see if they can pick back up where they left off.
Ole Miss begins the second half of the basketball. You got your sources in the locker rooms, Adrian. What are they telling you?
Yeah, with Rice, they've got to make shots. There's too many open shots and also collapse the defense. Right there, you're seeing them trying to build up, collapse the defense, but that was an easy basket by Stevens.
Stevens registers the first bucket of the second half. That's his first field goal on the night. Ole Miss up a touchdown. There's a swat by Hyman. And that's the difference between these two squads. Ole Miss just has a different caliber of athlete.
Well, they say they want to play like an SEC team. They want to defend like an SEC team and play with that pace. Good quickness.
Cashaw on the inbounds play. Left it short. Down Ole Miss. Brian Tyree, he has been the starting point guard. He's into the starting lineup here in the second half. Has the basketball right now. Hyman triple team. Ball is loose. Good effort, and the takeaway for Adams. Jump ball arrow favors Rice.
Good things happen when you're usually the first to the ground. When you saw Aco right there, the ball's on the ground, and he's coming out there diving for it. Oh, if you're Tyree, you got to bend your back. You got to get on the floor, young man. Oh, gave away that possession.
Adams running point, sets up the deep shot from Mency. Couldn't make it. Offensive board. Look it outside. 3 from the corner. No. And this time Ole Miss clears the gut.
Now for Osborne, he stepped back into a 3-pointer. If you're Steph Curry, you give him that one. But you step in there for that 12-footer.
Tyree misses. Tip-in is there for Hyman. Foul on the drive by Cashaw. Marcanvis Hyman. Perfect from the field so far today.
The second effort right there blocking out. That's what he does. Stays around the basket, keeping his hands up, getting the tip in.
Inbound play to Cashaw once again. It's a 9-point advantage for Ole Miss. Adams for 3. Off the heel, rebound Hyman. Here comes Ole Miss on the run. Crawford, offensive foul. Aco Adams making all the hustle plays in the second half.
Davis had his 3rd foul because he didn't kiss it off the glass. Crawford, you've got to kiss it off the glass. You're too valuable to have a cheap foul. That was a cheap foul. Yeah, Adams is not going to block a shot. So just respect the defense, rise straight up, kiss it off the glass, nice and easy.
Second Ole Miss Rebel with 3 fouls, and we're only 2 minutes into the second half. 2-3 zone for Ole Miss.
Playing with the purpose.
5 on the shot clock. Fadeaway jumper won't go down. Ole Miss contesting that rebound a little early according to the Rice bench. Transition 2 goes through for Davis.
What's the difference? He pulled up. He had his 3rd foul when he didn't pull up, just like Crawford. And now he rises up there on a 6-0 run, trying to simplify the game, make easy decisions.
Double-digit lead for Ole Miss. It's their largest of the game.
Ole Miss is doing a good job of crowding the space of the Owls, not giving the white jerseys easy baskets.
Osborne with 3 on the shot clock. Kicks it out. Burnett takes it away. Ole Miss off and running again. Tyree into the teeth of the defense. No call. And Rice comes away with the loose ball, and Tyree is down, holding his ankle.
Officials timeout. Player taken up on the play.
I like that they jumped on that quickly to try to attend to him holding his ankle. Like he lost his footing right there, the ankle twist. That's a tough one because it wasn't a strong shot. So that was, oh, I've been there before. That's no fun on that one, Sam.
That wasn't even the landing, it was the takeoff. It helped Tyree to his feet. He's from Somerset, New Jersey. All you Giants fans out there, he is related to David Tyree. He's a cousin.
Oh, the amazing catch. I didn't put that together. There
That's
you
the
go.
Helmet guy, yeah.
Oh, that's still one of the amazing catches. I like how they stopped that one to attend to that, though. I like how they jumped on that.
He's going to head back towards the locker room area. They haven't taken him all the way back behind the scenes, though. Meanwhile, Rice gets the ball back, and Eustace Furmanovicius is into the game for Ole Miss on defense. Harrison, 3 ball. Missed it right.
I don't like that shot because you're just getting into the game and taking a tough challenge shot.
Do you like it from Schuler?
I like it from Schuler. But for the big guys, you want to get that sweat going first. You don't want to give away easy possessions.
46-35, the score. You see the 3-point shooting. Not quite what the field goal percentage is for Ole Miss. They're about 50% from the field.
Ole Miss pressure is starting to get them separation right there on plays like that. The deflection, the live ball turnovers.
Terrence Davis coast to coast.
Making the adjustment right now with the Owls. Let's see if the Owls can get something straight line going to the basket.
LaPrey. Yes. Buries the triple.
He has knocked down some timely baskets to help Cashaw.
Double-digit score off the bench usually for Rice. Most of it coming from deep. 10-point ball game. Furmanovicius. Puts it down low. Hyman just loops it up there, gets his own rebound, couldn't put it through.
And you look at where the scoring is going to come from under pressure. Ole Miss is in a man-to-man. LaPrey has shot it well.
LaPrey throws it away. He was looking down low for Mency. The athleticism and pressure of Ole Miss paying dividends. Terrence Davis, the steal, the score. And it's a 10-point Ole Miss lead. Main event here in Las Vegas, and it's sad to say, but a lot of communities all over the country have been victims of mass shootings, and there of course was a one on the largest scale in this country's history here not too long ago. More than 50 people dying. The shooter positioned in the Mandalay Bay Resort just overlooking the Route 91 country concert, and all over this city we have seen the hashtag Vegas Strong. It's on almost every casino, every sign. It is a very difficult thing that this community is still dealing with, but we see a lot of support everywhere you look here in Las Vegas.
Love the support, love the resilience. It's going to be a while with hearts broken. So I love what they're doing. I love that Vegas Strong. That's big time stuff.
something that, you especially don't want to forget. Everything kind of fades over time, and that's for good and sometimes for not so good either. But here around the holiday time, a lot of people still dealing with it.
Well said, and this is a resilient town. I'm really proud to be here and be participating with them.
We got a foul and a three-point attempt. Sometimes that athleticism for Ole Miss, they put it out there a little too aggressively. Saw flying through the air there, Terrence Davis.
It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a good old-fashioned hack in his fourth foul. Boy, that's a tough one right now with 14 minutes left to go in the game as well.
Smart play from Connor Cashaw, though, to realize I'm about to get crushed. I might want to pretend I'm shooting.
Two sports stars. They're saying that Davis was a wide receiver and chose basketball and still learning as well.
He's a second-team All-SEC preseason pick. He's going to sub out. Cashaw, 2 more free throws after making the first.
That's where you can see where that third foul in the first half hurt him. Because if that was just a foul, that would have just been his third. He could still be playing. Now he's going to sit down for a good portion of this game.
One more for the game's leading scorer. Cashaw goes 2 for 3. He leads everyone with 19, but his Owls trail it by 10.
What's happened now is that Ole Miss has been able to turn the tables on the Owls and hold them to 1 and down. Now remember, Rice does not have a large margin of error, so they've got to be able to make what they take.
Burnett too strong. Rebound for Manavicius, and Ole Miss a second opportunity.
Both coaches know that second chance opportunities don't end well for a defense because you usually get a high percentage shot on the next opportunity.
Turnover underneath as Burnett tried to drive. Rice makes some subs. Harrison checking out, as well as Bishop Mency. Malik Osborne back into the game with Austin Meyer.
And Kennedy mixing up his defense. You're seeing a 1-3-1 and aggressive man-to-man. So it's been trying to keep the Owls off pace.
Meyer hands it off to Adams. One-on-one with a big man.
Got to be able to help him.
Taking in Olejniczak, shoots over him, and that shot was altered, and then a foul on the rebound.
Hey, Dom!
Excellent job of being able to move your feet against a point guard without fouling, going straight up in that vertical plane.
First personal on Meyer, first team fouls. There's a wide disparity, but there's a reason behind it. Ole Miss is flying all over the place, and they're not always in control.
Yeah, and there's more guards as well. So when you have guards, you got to be playing small, playing quick, and playing under control. They're doing this without Davis and Crawford as well.
Manavicius for 3, yes! He's got a dunk, and now he's got one from distance.
I like this young man. Great basketball build, quick, explosive, giving them good minutes off the bench. Yes, for Eustace.
Makes it a 13-point lead. Down low, Meyer.
Go up strong.
Just like you ordered. Off glass and good for 2. Lead is down to 11.
But Olejniczak didn't foul him, so you're going straight up. If a guy has you beat 2 feet inside the paint, take it off the net.
That drives, pull up from the baseline. He knocks it down.
Burnett is so confident, like a lot of players. A lot of times as the offense goes, you go, but he's been able to heat up right before the first half, and now it's been a carryover effect for him in the second half.
He has a dozen. Lead is a baker's dozen. 55-42 Ole Miss. The sharpshooter from the corner. Gray can't make it. Meyer tips the rebound. And Ole Miss comes away with it. Now Meyer's going to be hit with the personal.
Good job by Burnett, sticking his head in there. You're seeing point guards now. Russell Westbrook is making that popular, where the point guards coming in there and getting those long rebounds. That really helps the big guys out, those long rebounds.
12:44 remaining in regulation. Ole Miss with a 13-point lead. 2 players in double figures, Davis and Burnett.
Rice back to a 2-3 zone now, trying to pack it in. Giving up a lot of easy baskets in the paint. That's a charge.
Stevens trying to bang his way down low. Ball goes back over to Rice. Hey, Thanksgiving morning, start your day with First Take at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. They'll get you ready for all 3 NFL games, plus preview college football's rivalry weekend, and there'll be some Turkey Day surprises. First Take, also streaming live on the ESPN app. We're almost at Turkey Day on the East Coast.
Yum, I'm ready.
I'm going to ring it in with all of you in our championship game here on ESPN2. The UNLV versus Utah. This is the third place matchup of the MGM Resorts main events. Bashaw.
Good job of defending without fouling.
Air ball on the 3, loose ball to Ole Miss. Schuler in transition. Schuler for 3.
Poor decision. You got control of the game. Got to sharpen that, quicken that feel for the game.
Over the back, the call. Ole Miss still leading by 13. You saw DeAndre Burnett there. He's been hitting jumpers most of the night. We'll learn more about him when we return to Las Vegas. Ole Miss Rebels leading by 13 in the second half. The UNLV Rebel fans getting ready for the championship game tonight. They'll be taking on Utah. Well, there's the top star for Ole Miss, DeAndre Burnett, and let's get to know him a little bit better. Favorite NBA player, Dwayne Wade. J. Cole's favorite pregame music and Thanksgiving side dish. You like some mac and cheese and collard greens.
Oh, yeah. Then left out the sweet potato pie.
That's your favorite? That's your go-to?
Oh, man. That's, you know what, whatever the missus is putting on the table, I mean.
Hermanovich finishes with the left hand, and the lead extended to 15. Another tip on an errant pass from Rice, and Ole Miss continues to get into the passing lanes.
We were talking about this at the start of the second half. Would Rice start to feel a little tired? Would there be some slippage? And right now, you're seeing Ole Miss impose their will. They're getting out, holding Rice to one and done, and then they've got their track shoes on. They're playing fast.
Lead is 15. It's the largest of the contest. Connor Cashaw limited just 2 points in the second half. And he's stuck on that 2 points. Underneath, there's a tie-up. Arrow favors Ole Miss. Teammates trying to calm down Bruce Stevens.
Cashaw has been challenged at the rim now with his shot because defense is about making adjustments. Andy Kennedy making adjustments. And again, Davis has been sitting out. He's got 4 fouls now. He's been sitting down right at the 15-minute mark.
Rebels a near miss last year for the NCAA tournament. Ended up in the NIT, lost in the quarterfinals to Georgia Tech. This team tied for 5th last year in the SEC. Offensive board for Hermanovich. Ball didn't hit the rim though, so shot clock down to 5. Burnett from distance knocks it down.
He's cooking. Just had the assist. Now that was his 3rd shot from the outside the perimeter. He was starting this game now. He is showing why he was a first-team all-conference preseason SEC pick.
He's got 15, tied for the team high. There's a response from Ako Adams.
He asked Ako what his name meant. And that's Swahili for firstborn child. So he said, man, that's a unique name. So he's playing well. He's going to be tired after this game because he's been playing a lot of minutes at the point guard position under pressure.
2-3 zone look here from the Owls. Crawford with 10 on the shot clock. Fires and comes up short.
This won't come up in the stat category, but Stevens, with his ability just to occupy a post player with that deep post position, is making the defense play honest. Good shot.
Connor Cashaw's first triple of the second half. He's the first player to breach 20 points. He's got 22.
For Ole Miss, where's the scoring coming from? Burnett has been shooting it well from the three-point line, and Stevens down low, probing, looking for a strong post-up.
Burnett flying to the 10 with 2.
Efficient. Last year, he took a lot of shots to get his points, not this year.
Long rebound, tracked down by Burnett. Schuler, rhythm 3, yes sir!
Sam, you just said something, rhythm 3, but now you can't get in the home run trot. You got to hustle back and get to a shooter right there.
Rattles out on Cashaw. Lead is 18, and Ole Miss going for the knockout punch in this third place game of our heavyweight bracket at the MGM Resorts main event.
Well, it started right with the last 2 minutes. Remember, they got the lead going into half, and then they were able to put more pressure on the Owls. This is a good timeout. Let's catch your breath timeout.
Ole Miss is going to take a timeout here. DeAndre Burnett's been filling it up. He's also been helping out his teammates as well. In transition, Devontae Shuler and the freshman knocking it through. Ole Miss up 18. It's almost here, Thanksgiving Day, and of course the PK80 presented by State Farm. There's the motion bracket. Who do you like?
It's going to be interesting. Let's see what Florida does as well. Florida's nationally ranked. Of course, Duke is hot, and they're the biggest team I've seen in a long time from a Duke team. They're huge.
I'm a big Marvin Bagley fan over at Duke, so we'll see if those two maybe meet in the final. As for the victory bracket, one of your Final Four favorites, Michigan State there at the bottom.
Michigan State, man, they're going to be so tough. And Coach Tom Izzo, Galvin, all you got great coaches out there. Oregon's good, UConn, Kevin Ollie. Got a super assistant coach, Raphael Chile is back with them now.
The tournament's so loaded, they need 2 brackets. Happy birthday, Phil Knight. Well deserved. PK80. I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. To put it politely, he's made a contribution to sports.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. 18-point lead here at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. As he's trying to cut into it with the triple.
What you don't want to do is try to get a 4-point possession. That was a quick shot coming out of a timeout. When you're down 18, you want to work and try to get a high percentage shot or get to the free throw line and stop the clock. Get points with the clock stopped.
Good to see Tyree back in there. He was the player who twisted his ankle on a drive. He's back in there at point, running along with Shuler. Shuler got to take himself tangled up.
Make that extra pass.
2 free throws after the break.
It's a good steal. Make that extra pass. It's Ole Miss, baby. Ole Miss on a roll
for the Rebels. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter. And Angry Orchard Hard Cider, naturally refreshing. Ole Miss has opened things up. They lead Rice by 18 and playing their brand of basketball right now.
Yeah, they're playing to their strengths. They wanted to get out, play the passing lanes. You're seeing this steal from Davis. This is his 15th point, 15 minutes. And then Burnett as well. He's starting this game. And the open pass, playing for one another. They are playing fast and under control. Look at this right now. Feet set. The freshman coming in, knocking down a huge basket. Everybody getting a chance to participate.
Hotty-toddy indeed for Ole Miss. DeAndre Burnett inserted into the starting lineup, and you'd think if you were an outsider, okay, this is Coach Kennedy trying to get a score, more minutes on the floor. Talking to him, he said, no, we want better decisions to be made by our guards, and he's making the right ones, not just getting himself points, but getting his teammates good looks.
To your point as well, Sam, they're charting decisions, and I've seen about 5 decisions. Davis is sitting down for poor decisions, got 4 fouls. Crawford missed a portion, as well as Shuler, so that is a work in progress.
We've actually seen over the 2 games Ole Miss has played here, there'll be a made bucket for Ole Miss, and Coach Kennedy's got his head in his hands. He's looking back at his team. Chart that one. Bad decision, good result. There's a nice decision by Adams to go with the reverse lay-in.
For Rice, you've got something to build with Adams. You've got something with LaPrey coming off the bench, knocking down shots. And Cashaw has been the only double figure so far for them in this game. Nice pass.
Jump pass. Tyree wide open for 3.
Giving up a good shot for a great shot. And that makes Coach Kennedy a little less razzled over on the sidelines.
Lead is 21, largest of the night.
Because of the pressure of Ole Miss, Rice is not as quick in their decisions, cutting to the basket. Pressure wears you down.
Rice gets the loose ball, and they'll head to the line after the foul. 6:48 remaining in regulation. Lead is 21, and good to see Breon Tyree back into the game after that ankle twist earlier.
Yeah, and it's off of an assist as well for Schuler. Passing up a shot, I thought he had a poor decision. He went to the free throw line. He makes that extra pass to a teammate. They're going to be better than a 9th place finish, that's for sure, for the 7th straight year.
Yeah, talking to the staff here, the SID, the coaching staff, they're not complaining that they keep getting picked low, but they are recognizing a trend. They're always picked preseason a lot lower than they end up finishing.
But, you know, Coach Kennedy has a love for the game. He has a history of the game. He appreciates the Jimmy Valvano that he's had the coaching influence under. And he gives his guys freedom in discipline. You got to be disciplined to play hard, but he'll give you freedom to play. Both coaches are good for the game, excellent for the game.
Ole Miss working against the 2-3 zone. Crawford rips the twine.
I think that's his first one in the 2 games that we've had. He's been waiting for that 3-point shot.
Crawford started the season 1 for 10 from deep. Started tonight 0 for 3, so he's been waiting. There's a rejection. Hyman was waiting for that attempt.
You're seeing the explosiveness and the quickness to the ball that Ole Miss has that Rice just doesn't have.
Down low and heading to the line. Dylan Jones. Romanovicius hit with a foul.
I love how you say that name. I've yet to say it. I'm going to be honest. Now, Crawford was saying as a senior, 5th-year senior, every day is urgent. He plays with such an urgency right now because it's getting ready to be over for him. And he had a lot of schools that he could have gone to, but this is close to home for him. He said, plus my mom doesn't like to fly. So.
2 shots for the Houston native, Dylan Jones. This Rice team, there's a lot of similarities to the UNLV team from a year ago. We'll see the Runnin' Rebels in the championship game, but UNLV had a coaching change kind of late in the recruiting season. Marvin Menzies came in, didn't really have a chance to bring in a lot of his guys. Scott Para was with the Rice staff, so it's not as if he had no recruits out there working for him, but when you have a late transition, you're behind the 8 ball, so
yeah, it'll be a while.
He's the coach who can turn it around, though.
He's going to get it. He has the it factor. I like where he says where every day in practice you want to get better. Pay attention to detail. The difference with them and UNLV. What's this name I just wrote?
You wrote down Brandon McCoy. Who's that, Adrian? Who's Brandon McCoy?
You shall soon see. A big 7-foot bear, one and done.
We got a Thanksgiving gift for you. Stay up late, everyone on the East Coast. Ring in Thanksgiving with Brandon McCoy, the 7-footer for UNLV. He's special.
Yeah. Now that packed in zone again for the Owls. Good ball movement. Pass beats the dribble in the zone.
Long rebound, collision, and it's a tie-up. Arrow favors Ole Miss. Good hustle from both sides, but especially the Rebels there to add to their possessions.
You're seeing 2 well-coached teams. You're seeing teams that had a loss. Ole Miss really had their heart broken with Utah because they came down and had a few poor decisions. Rice has been undermanned, especially against a UNLV team, but they're coming out representing themselves very well this 3rd and 4th place game. Look at the ball movement. That goes to coaching, being unselfish, playing for one another.
Want to get it down low to Stevens, but no lanes to pass to. Tyree will fire from 3, rattles out. Rebound tap goes to Hunter for Rice.
I still like what I see in Stevens. He hadn't scored in the post, but he is occupying defenders with his post presence.
Nifty finish from Martin, but foul came first. It is the 8th team foul against Ole Miss, so 1-and-1 free throws coming up here for Rice. Talking about Coach Scott Para and all that he's accomplished.
Very well respected, been in the program.
It's not his first time as a head coach either. First we'll let Robert Martin go to the line. They're trying to sort out how many free throws they're shooting. It is 1-and-1.
They'll be shooting 1-1.
Now Martin's played hard, so you like to see a guy that's played hard reward his effort and knock down a free throw.
Had a career high the other day with 14 against UNLV. Hits the first. So Scott Para, once upon a time, was a head coach before at Artesia High School in Southern California. That guy on the left, you might not recognize him without the beard, but James Harden was his player in high school, and then as an assistant at ASU.
Wow, James Harden, where'd you go 10 years ago? But Coach Para, again, we talked about at the top of the show, he's got the it factor because he's a natural leader. He's honest, just like Andy Kennedy lets his players know where they stand, and he galvanizes you and challenges you to be better game by game, day by day.
Hunter in transition for Rice. They trail by 19. Long rebound, tracked down by the Owls.
You know, as a first-year coach for Coach Para, I believe they are going to get better. Rice will establish themselves as a presence in Conference USA as time goes by. But you never forget your first team, too.
You don't.
You're taking lumps right now, but you still remember these band of brothers.
And I do like seeing someone who was a head coach in high school get the opportunity to rise to the ranks. It's not as if he went straight from one to the other, but you don't often see some really good high school coaches get those opportunities to move up and have a shot to coach here in the NCAA. It'll be interesting to see how he does. Hopefully he does well. Some more of those high school coaches who are working hard and developing young players can get that opportunity.
Well, he's got to continue to get talent. Remember, this is the driving inside. Remember, this is a young team. 15 players, 10 of them are freshmen and sophomores. So what's this mean? They're going to go through some growing pains. It won't be the prettiest thing that you've seen, but the buzzword, like Philadelphia 76ers, work the process.
That's right.
Work the process.
Schuler rattles home the three. Dunk, by the way, was for Dylan Jones, not one of those young pieces. Jones is a senior. He's probably the smartest guy on the floor. Graduate transfer from Penn.
Nice pass. Nice pass in traffic.
Tie up down low. Martin tangling with Furmanovicius. And the jump ball arrow favors Rice. More triples from Ole Miss. Devontae Schuler dialing it up from distance, leads 20. Ole Miss Rebels by 20. 6 different players have hit a three tonight.
Well, they got 19 assists. They're shooting the ball extremely well from the three-point line. And in all these clips, look at that. It's off the hand of an assist. You're passing up a good shot for a great shot. Coach Kennedy and his staff will take that. Even Crawford, my man, the 5th-year senior, he says, I got this. I'm ready. I'm ready for my close-up, Coach.
He had been waiting a while. He started 0 for 3 from 3. On the year, he was 1 for 10. Everything going the Rebels' way right now.
Now, when you go against even stiffer competition for Ole Miss, they do have to get better with their decision-making. Davis has to be efficient. Schuler has to be efficient. They're out here, they're better athletes. They're the upperclassmen as well. You're seeing Burnett, an upperclassman. But again, when you're ready to take that next step, Stevens should be ready by conference time to really get himself 10 points, 7, 8 rebounds. So Coach Kennedy has some nice pieces to work with. But just like he said with his team, we flat out, he just said we got to be smarter. We have to be more efficient and make quicker, better basketball decisions.
They went 22-14 last year overall, 9-8 in SEC play. I mean, those numbers in the ACC, the Big Ten, they're just in the tournament. And there's a lot of pride in the Southeastern Conference. And, you know, maybe some people scratch their heads. Why wasn't that resume good enough?
Well, there's a graphic. We didn't show that one where he's had 33 school records, 16 individuals, and 17 by his teams. So Ole Miss has a flat-out gem in Coach Kennedy. Never had a losing season. 1 of 5 coaches. He's got all kind of stats. 1 of 5 coaches that's got so many wins. So you go down the line. He's a good recruiting tool when you're talking about the SEC. Players play at the next level. They have freedom to play. So they got a gem in Coach Kennedy.
Cashaw with the bucket. He's up to 24. We got a foul on the pass. 2:52 remaining in regulation. 77-58 right now in favor of Ole Miss.
If you were to ask me what the Owls can take from this, great game. They were competitive for the first 25 to 30 minutes of this game, and then they ran out of steam. Ole Miss put it on them. They started to wear them down, but they shared the basketball. They took good shots, and it was just the withering pressure of Ole Miss that got them separation in this game. Look at that ball movement again. It's like a hot potato.
Davis off the heel. Rebound to Schuler. Fresh 30 for Ole Miss.
You're building the house. You start with the foundation. For the Owls, this is their foundation, their first year under Coach Perrin. He's going to build a nice house to sustain winning and success for Rice.
And that good look underneath to Hyman, who's fouled. He'll go to the line. One downside for Ole Miss. They're 3-1 right now. Loss coming against Utah earlier in this tournament. You know, if you're a team that's been on the bubble a lot and you need a resume-building win, Utah was an opportunity for that, and they didn't
absolutely.
get it.
Well, and the same thing for Utah as well. Remember, Utah was a top 4 finisher as well, so both of them in their conferences needed that.
Here's the schedule, and Virginia Tech's the one you're probably circling if you're an Ole Miss fan. If you win that one, you feel a lot better about what your resume looks like heading into SEC play. You take care of business there, you think you should be in.
Virginia Tech would be first cousins to Ole Miss because they have those 6'3", 6'4", Brandon Robinson. For Virginia Tech, they get after it. So both teams are going to be mirror images. Who can protect the ball and be efficient in that game? Neither team's going to give an inch.
LePray, deep 2, off the iron. Offensive board swatted back.
Now, Sam, I will say, in my 11-year career, 4 years in the NBA, nice up and under. I was the king of garbage time. This is important minutes. I was the king of garbage, okay? I just want you to know that. That's the only thing I will say about my career.
Hey, I was too, just at a much lower level of basketball.
I took garbage time seriously when the game was out of reach. Oh, I'm getting me some numbers, getting the sweat. Yes, sir.
You can tell which guys want to be pros for a long time.
Oh, win or lose, win or lose.
That's my rebound.
Oh, man, I'm going hard. I have to apologize to all my 7-foot centers. I wouldn't wave them off in the crunch. Nah, man, I'm shooting this one.
Dylan Jones can't finish the N1 opportunity, so the deficit remains at 17. Ole Miss, 3 players in double figures.
Coach Kennedy still playing his starters as well, not leaving anything to chance. Nice drive, strong move inside.
Stevens is fouled, and he will head to the charity stripe.
I can believe that Stevens was a top 5 first-team All-American. He's got a great basketball body, 6'8", 250 pounds, square shoulders, good hands, and he's got good elevation as well for the weight that he has.
JUCO transfer from Jones County. Reminder to stick around. You might change the channel just a little bit. We're going to be on ESPN2 for our championship game, Utah versus UNLV.
One team with a U is going to win that game. I was looking at that as we were making notes. So look at all the U's has. This is going to be a very good game. Brandon McCoy, the 7-foot one-and-done, going against David Collette, a veteran, 6'10". Both teams are playing. They're hot teams. This is going to be a very, very good game. It's going to be a great atmosphere as well for it.
Cashaw misses the fadeaway. Utah in that one, they're looking for another resume win. They're hoping that UNLV ends up in that upper echelon of Mountain West, and it looks good for them. And for UNLV, they're looking to find out just how good they are. They have beaten their best win on the season right now is Rice. And Rice, as much as we like to pump them up, they're going to be 1-4.
Well, you've got running back in the Rebels as well. They're averaging almost 100 points a game. They're top 10 in the nation in scoring, and it's entertaining. Coach Menzies has turned it around quickly in year 2. Give him his props. He's done a fantastic job.
It'll be a very entertaining contest. Many of the natives here in Las Vegas are starting to fill in. We're starting to see some more players come in from the end of the bench. Here's Ilya Tertishnik.
That's the first name. Say that again.
Ilya Tertishnik from Kiev, Ukraine.
Fermanaviches. Sorry, Charles Barkley. That sounds like Charles on the mic. Sorry. I'm going with Eustace. Sorry. Let me stay in my lane.
Tertishnik on defense. We go down low. Nice job with the lefty hook there for Dylan Jones. Transfer from Penn.
Avery Johnson had the all-time bumble when he called Sasha Vujicic sausage. Avery, we caught you on that one, Coach. He's going to be loaded down in the SEC as well.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Sexton is going to be a very good player. Defense, toughness. SEC is going to be an unforgiving conference. Good ball movement again.
Tertishnik could not hit the triple. Rebound is loose. LaFrey comes away with it. Shot clock is dark. We're down to 12 seconds. Lester for three. And he could not come through. Ole Miss will dribble out the final few seconds and walk out of Las Vegas 4-1. 79-62 your final score. Hotty toddy, Ole Miss on top.
Ole Miss did what they were supposed to do with that withering pressure. Rice Owls building a house in the foundation. They played a very good 30 minutes in this game.
So once again, our final score, Ole Miss getting the win, 79-62. Rebels now 4-1. Rice Owls fall to 1-4. Be sure to catch the championship game between Utah and UNLV, 12:30 a.m. Eastern. Ring in Thanksgiving with us on ESPN2. For Adrian Brancher and our entire crew, I'm Sam Farber saying it's been a pleasure and a privilege. So long for now from Las Vegas, where Ole Miss is a winner.